Hey, this is Angel Garza from WWE, and you are watching the Bro Force.
Hey everybody, it's Hayden and Joe from the Bro Force here. This is the second video I recorded today. Was not aware Double or Nothing weekend was going to be this busy of a recording schedule. Today we're here with our Double or Nothing predictions. I, of course, won the last one with a whopping 3 correct.
I had 2, unfortunately. I mean, at least it could have been worse, alright? We could have gotten none.
I'm confident with 1 of my matches on this show.
I think... I don't know. I think, as of right now, I'm only confident with 1 as well. Because it's an obvious choice on who's going to win.
The first match on the card is on the buy-in to determine the number 1 contenders to the AEW Tag Team Championships. It is Private Party versus Best Friends. Who do you have and why?
I think this is also a pretty predictable match that I'm just now thinking about it. I think it's pretty obvious Best Friends will win, and I think they should win because they've been the top tag team since this whole all these shows with no fans. They've been the number 1 team. So I think they should win, and I would be fine if they took the tag titles off of Omega and Hangman too. What do you think?
I also have the Best Friends. I decided this via a flip of a coin because I couldn't decide if, the Best Friends had obviously, like you said, been on TV a lot during this no fans period. But also you have to factor in how pushed the Private Party were. Why did I call them the Private Party? They're the only Private Party.
Yes. In AEW, at least. That we know of. There could be other private parties that they have. You never know.
They beat the Young Bucks clean, which is not something a lot of teams get to do.
Yeah, but they didn't do much remarkable stuff after that, did they? That's the biggest thing they've done, which is big.
Well, they also beat Santana and Ortiz. They've beaten a lot of people.
Santana and Ortiz also beat the Young Bucks. So maybe, if you put those 3 together, does that make Private Party the best team out of all 3 of them?
Of course. Which is why Private Party's gonna... No, they're not. Best Friends are gonna win. Because the coin said so, quite frankly. And the coin's always right.
Because I said so.
The next match on the card is the most recently added, as we found out via Shawn Spears news. I think that's what it's called.
Trustworthy news. Yeah, Shawn Spears news.
It's Dustin Rhodes, who apparently was retired and just decided, you know what, I'll come back. Why not? Shawn Spears challenged me.
He retired for a minute. But I'm actually really looking forward to this match. I like both of them. I like Shawn Spears a lot, even though a bunch of people don't like him. It seems, but I think this could be the most underrated match on the card. I have Dustin Rhodes for this, though. I think he's probably the best choice of who's going to win. Who do you think?
I also have Dustin Rhodes because when the entire build to a feud is this person is old and this person is not good anymore, if they lose, then the person saying that is right. And it's kind of hard to take Dustin Rhodes seriously when somebody basically proved that he should retire.
I mean, yeah, he's had quite the hard, no pun intended, hard times. Had a rough loss to Lance Archer. If he loses to Shawn Spears, I mean, what else does he have to do? He's been losing. Should he retire?
I think he should have retired when he faced Cody because his retirement match is never going to live up to that.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been the perfect retirement match, but I don't mind it because he's had some good stuff on Dynamite and on Dark. So I don't know what they would do. They'd probably end up doing Cody versus Dustin again for a retirement match. But I don't know. This should be a good match, though. But I don't think Dustin Rhodes is close to retiring.
The next match on the card, potentially, is Britt Baker versus Kris Statlander. And the theme of our predictions videos, so in the last one we did, was immediately rendered inaccurate. I'm sure this match will be canceled before this comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, because Britt Baker suffered an injury on her right knee, I believe it was, when they threw Nyla Rose on her in the corner. That's when it looked like she got hurt. And she wasn't in for the rest of that match. She could be out of Double or Nothing, but who knows? If she's not, I do think Britt Baker's going to win, though.
I also think Britt Baker is going to win because she seems to be the big star of the AEW Women's Division. She was when she was a face, and it didn't really work, but now she's a heel. Everybody kind of wants it, and they're going for it. So I think to have her lose to Kris Statlander, who has lost to the Women's Champion, doesn't really set her up for big success in the future.
I think if Kris Statlander does beat Britt Baker, it's not that big of a deal because Kris Statlander is one of their biggest stars on the women's roster. And she's, I believe, ranked number 2 in the women's rankings. So it's not that bad of a loss for her, but she should win.
The next match on the card is easily the most predictable match. It is MJF versus Jungleboy.
Yeah, it would be the biggest upset if Jungleboy was to win. It's definitely going to be MJF. It's the most obvious match. He's probably going to end up being next in line for the world title soon enough because he is undefeated in singles competition. So it's pretty obvious.
MJF has yet to be pinned or submitted in AEW, and Jungleboy's not going to be the first person to do that. We then have a double prediction in this next match because it's the casino ladder match where the winner gets a poker chip that is either a future title shot predetermined at a show, or they could cash it in. We're not really sure about that yet. It's Darby Allin versus Colt Cabana versus Orange Cassidy versus Rey Fenix versus Scorpio Sky versus Kip Sabian versus Frankie Kazarian versus Luchasaurus versus a mystery competitor. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you think the mystery competitor is?
All right, so I think there's multiple people that the mystery person could be. I think it could be Sting, like the rumors are saying. I think it could be Taz. But my prediction was that whoever the mystery person is going to win. But I don't think if it's Taz or Sting, they're going to win because, it's Taz and Sting. So if it's not the mystery person, I'm just going to say Darby Allin just to be safe. Because he's been, the top guy in this match that people are thinking is going to win. Who do you think?
I also think Darby Allin is going to win. And the mystery competitor is going to be somebody that just had a 30-day no-compete clause, so he is good to go. Because he was signed in NXT. Chris Hero is going to be the mystery competitor. But he's not going to win. He's just going to come in, he's going to lose, put Darby over. I don't know if he's going to stick around or not. But I think he is going to be the mystery competitor. Mystery ninth man.
That'd be a nice surprise, considering Chris Hero is, he did nothing. Well, he did some decent stuff in NXT, but he was nothing important in NXT, and it hurt so bad. Sitting there watching, just wanting him to do something. He could have been North American champion if they didn't want him to be NXT champion. But no, I don't see what's wrong with him. But apparently, I guess we just don't see the same thing WWE saw in him.
We then have an odd match. It is Stadium Stampede, Matt Hardy, and the Elite versus the Inner Circle. Who do you think is going to reign triumphant in the empty 80,000 seat football stadium?
So, at first, I was thinking the Inner Circle, but I'm honestly not sure. I might change my prediction to the Elite, because they're all coming back now. They're all back together. The Inner Circle has been on TV every week. Well, I guess in that case, the Inner Circle would win, because they've had the best chemistry since they've been sticking together. You know what? I'm going to stay with the Inner Circle because of this reason right here. I think Adam Page is going to take the pin, and it's going to throw him, he's going to go crazy. And then he's definitely going to leave the Elite and probably lose the titles with Kenny and just feud with, maybe feud with Kenny after that. What do you think?
Well, I was going to say the Inner Circle. But I know if I do say the Inner Circle, we're going to have the same thing for every single match on this card. So just in the spirit of being different, and since this match could really go either way, I'm going to say Matt Hardy and the Elite. I don't have any logical reason. I just didn't want this video to be really boring and us both say the same thing and agree on everything. And I didn't really have a reason for the Inner Circle to win either. So, might as well just go with the one you didn't pick.
Yeah, it could really go either way. They both have their reasons for winning and losing, I guess.
The next match is for the AEW Women's Championship, and it's Nyla Rhodes defending against Hikaru Shida in a no disqualification and no countout match, or to be short, an Extreme Rules match, but they don't want to use those two words.
I don't know why they didn't just say no disqualification. I think that gets the point across pretty. But no, they have to say no DQ and no countout. But I think Nyla Rose is going to win this. I think she's going to have a decently long reign. Maybe she'll probably lose at the next pay-per-view after this, I think, against Britt Baker. But yeah, I think she'll probably win this. She did pin Hikaru Shida on Dynamite this week, so who knows? What do you think?
I also think Nyla Rose is going to retain, because AEW have shown that they don't really hotshot their belts. Each title has only had 2 champions up to this point, and we're a week in, or not a week, we're a year in. There's only been 2 champions per title. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think it's going to be up until All Out before we see another title change, other than the TNT Championship, that title win. So I think Nyla Rose is going to retain. She's going to have a long reign. I don't think she's losing it all out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kenny and Hangman that lose it all out. I can see Nyla reigning to the end of 2020 even.
What are your opinions on Nyla Rose? What do you think about Nyla Rose?
Well, before she won the belt, I wasn't a big fan. She had that match with Rio on the first Dynamite, but it didn't really make sense. It was a good match, but she almost got disqualified. The ref had to stop her, which would have meant she didn't win the title. And there was just a lot of things she did that didn't make any sense in that match. So even when she had the good match, it was kind of tainted. And that was really the only good match she had up to that point. But then when she won it from Rio, that match was significantly better than the first one they had. And probably the second best women's match in AEW so far.
The second?
Because the best was Shida versus Britt Baker on that one Dynamite a few weeks ago.
I would disagree with that. I would say that the Nyla Rose versus Rio match, the second one, is the best women's match in AEW.
But since winning the title, Nyla Rose has become significantly better. I found the kendo stick thing from a couple weeks ago way funnier than I was meant to find it.
Yeah, me too.
The next match is probably the hardest to predict match. It's the finals of the TNT Championship Tournament. It's Cody versus Lance Archer. Who do you think is going to walk out with the TNT Championship?
I don't think this is the hardest match to predict, but I think Lance Archer is going to win this one. And I know you originally thought Cody, and you've been hyping up this reason why you think Lance Archer, and I really want to know why. So just let me hear it.
So if Lance Archer wins, it's not going to be clean. If Lance Archer wins, it's going to be somebody's going to screw Cody, and it's going to set something up. There are some people that have been released by WWE that are obviously going to go to AEW. And they're going to have that tag match eventually with the Young Bucks. So they're going to screw a member of the Elite out of a championship. The Revolt are going to cost Cody the match. Lance Archer is going to win, and it's going to cause problems with the Elite and the Revolt, which will eventually lead to the Young Bucks versus the Revolt.
It's FTR. It's not the Revolt.
It's the Revolt.
Alright, but I think Lance Archer is going to win because he's been hyped up and he has all this momentum going in. I wish Cody would win because he's my favorite wrestler right now, but I don't think he will.
I think they've also kind of booked themselves into a corner here, because you can't just have Lance Archer lose this fast into his run, but how many losses can Cody take on a big pay-per-view before it's just Cody's good, but whenever it actually counts, he's going to lose. Because Cody's last pay-per-view win in AEW was at All Out against Shawn Spears.
Yeah, I guess that's not really that good of a image tag. He's always losing all these big matches that he has. But maybe this can be the one. Who knows? Maybe Mike Tyson will help Cody Rhodes win.
We then move on to the main event of Double or Nothing for the AEW World Championship. It's AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus the self-proclaimed AEW World Champion Mr. Brodie Lee. Who do you have and why?
I'm happy you got the name right, the nickname. I have Jon Moxley because I don't think he's going to into his or this like short into his title reign. Because I would love if Brodie Lee won. Like I don't see it happening right now. It kind of sucks that he would lose this fast, just like the situation with Lance Archer if he was to lose against Cody. I guess it's not bad to lose against Jon Moxley, considering who he is. But yeah, I have Mox.
What's going to happen is the Creepers are going to get involved in this match, and they're going to distract the ref for Brodie Lee to use a chair or something. And while the ref is distracted by Brodie Lee's own Creepers, Moxley's going to low blow him or hit him with the chair or do whatever that isn't legal. And he's going to get the win because of the Creepers' distractions, and Brodie Lee is just going to beat the crap out of all the Creepers that are there at ringside that caused it, and it's going to send Brodie on a mental breakdown, and he's just going to take out his anger on the Dark Order every single week. And I probably went way too specific with that. It's kind of not the best idea to ever predict. I've done a lot of that this show, predicting stuff for very, very, very specific reasons. And it's probably going to blow up in my face, because it typically does.
Well, I mean, you did say maybe you should just pick the opposite of everyone you actually think is going to win. Maybe you'll do a little bit better.
If I had done that in the past, I would do a lot better.
But yeah. Do you think like this would hurt Brodie Lee if he lost? Like, bad?
I don't think it'd hurt him bad, but I don't think it'd exactly help him.
I mean, it could like alter his character a little bit, like give us a different view on him. Like, what happened? We don't know. We've seen him like get angry at his followers or his creepers, or whatever. But what happens when he loses? He doesn't set the right example for all of his people in his. I can't say the C word because Mr. Brodie Lee doesn't like his group. He wouldn't be able to set the right example. So what would happen? Who knows?
So that's all we have here for the Double or Nothing predictions. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll have our SmackDown review like always. Joe's doing that now because we traded between Raw and SmackDown because I didn't like watching SmackDown and he didn't like watching Raw. We have all of our regular weekly reviews next week, and this Sunday we will be reviewing the show we're predicting right now, Double or Nothing. So make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and give us your predictions for Double or Nothing on this Saturday.